Hey everybody, it's GoblinX and welcome back to another Premier Draft of Duskmourn for Spooky Season. Without further ado, let's get into the pack one, pick one, and this is an incredibly powerful pack. We have two of my favorite uncommons from the entire set because I do really like the blue-white Eerie deck. It's a very aggressive deck that wants to get a lot of enchantment triggers, all these Eerie triggers happening every time that you play any enchantment, including unlocking rooms. So the Scavenger and Gremlin Taint are both absolutely excellent in that strategy, and it is a strategy I like quite a bit. It's kind of a tempo aggro deck, so those are very powerful options. But we also have an excellent mono-colored rare, Twitching Doll. This is a 2-mana 2/2 mana dork that also, once you don't need the mana anymore, can sacrifice itself to make a ton of spiders. This card's also absolutely exceptional. It's also 2 card types to fuel Delirium in your graveyard, getting 2 out of your 4 card types for that. There are even other solid uncommons here like Thresher and Beastie Beatdown that would be some of the better cards in most packs, but those other uncommons that are rare there are just so good that those aren't really in contention. So wildly powerful first pack, but I will just go for the rare there. I do think Twitching Doll gets the nod. This card is absolutely exceptional. Pick 2 I am infinitely less excited about. There's really nothing here that I'm happy to take pick 2 no matter what my pack 1 pick 1 is. We could take Seized from Slumber, which is fine removal in white, or a solid filler green card like Insidious Fungus in the set that has a bunch of artifacts and enchantments. This card is perfectly fine. Tunnel Surveyor, if I took one of those Eerie cards, would be okay since it gives us that enchantment token, but really not a great pack here overall. If I take a green card, I think we take Fungus over Moldering Gem. And I don't think Seized from Slumber is really strong enough to not just take Fungus here. They're both comparable, kind of a decent filler main deck interaction of some form. Alright, we're right back to a great pack. Oblivious Bookworm is a ridiculously good card. 2 mana for a 2/3 that draws a card and discards a card every end step. That's already great. A 2 mana 2/3 that loots without you even having to tap it or anything. And this is even better than that. If you do any manifesting to be putting some face downs on your board or flipping them up, then you are going to just fully draw a card without even having to discard. So Oblivious Bookworm is exceptional. The Paranormal Analyst is another good way to be able to get some card advantage while you're Manifest Dreading, because you are putting one into play and then one into the grave. Well, now you're just straight up getting a 2/2 and drawing the other card into your hand. So Analyst is good too, but I think Bookworm is better because you don't have to hit any synergies for this card to already be doing a lot of work for you. Just a good stat line on curve that is giving you card selection at the absolute worst. Pick 4. The best card in this pack is probably Glimmer Seeker, although it is pretty far from what we're doing. I think the green-white survival deck is pretty bad, but this is a solid card for like blue-white and red-white. I would not want to take that and have it ending up in the same deck as these cards, but I could still take it speculatively in case we just don't see a good green card for the rest of the draft. Maybe we do get pushed to like blue-white or white-red or something. And honestly, in terms of taking something on color for a green-blue deck, the best card would be a Terramorphic Expanse, filling Delirium and giving us some fixing, or like Get Out, which is kind of hard to cast at double blue. Maybe we just take Terramorphic. It is real flexible. I'll go Terramorphic here, but I could see the speculation on the Glimmer Seeker being worth it as the best card in terms of power level there. Pick 5. I like the Manifest Dread, especially because it synergizes with the green-blue archetype with Bookworm. Really good with Delirium as well. A sorcery goes into your graveyard, and then whatever you mill also goes into the grave. So this hits a lot of the synergies in the format really well. There's also a Glassworks, though, and we don't have any removal to blow up just like a creature currently. We have just artifact enchantment removal. Glassworks is a very solid way to clear out a threat on the board. And green's quite splashy, especially when we already have Twitching Doll plus Terramorphic Expanse. Very easy to play at least 3 colors. So Glassworks is not a difficult splash at all. I kind of still want to just take Manifest Dread here and try to cut people off green. Take all of the solid green stuff here, because if we get cut off of green during like pack 2, we're going to be really sad because our green looks very powerful here. So if we can keep the players on our left off of it, then we know next pack at the very least we'll get plenty more. Conductive Machete's fine filler, always castable, hits those Manifest Dread synergies. And Everything in this pack is pretty much filler for its own deck. Pick 7, another Manifest Dread. There's also a Beastie Beatdown still here. 7 picks into the draft. Could be like green-red Splash the Bookworm instead. Is that worth taking the off-color card over the Manifest Dread? I'm probably a little bit too high on Manifest Dread, so probably. But I do like this card a lot. I mean, I've got 3 2-drops already, if blue's a core color. And we're not even through the first pack yet. Yeah, I can speculate on Beatdown here over Manifest Dread. This pack's just bad. Fine combat trick for aggressive strategies. Fine sack card for like Rakdos Sacrifice. Fine card for the Reanimator deck. But they're all just fine. They're just decent filler for their respective archetypes, and none of those archetypes are our archetype. Is the most likely here. I mean, none of these really fit into any green deck we'd end up playing. Just take a red card here, since Beatdown was pretty late. Red might be a more open color in general. And yep, we get a second Beatdown, so nobody's in green-red specifically. Fortunately, the rest of the red cards we're finding are just not very good. Pyroclasm really does not work well in most decks, because you do a lot of like Manifest Dreading, so your 2/2s would die. If you're any aggressive deck, which most red decks are, then you'll also just have naturally 2 toughness or less creatures. Found Footage is fine filler for decks that really want to hit Delirium, because this puts an artifact in your grave when you sack it, while also surveilling 2, milling some other cards and getting those into your graveyard. Pack 2, pick 1, we open an excellent Mythic Rare. I'd say on color, but we didn't see a lot of exciting blue cards outside of our very early Bookworm pick. So it's on color for like our splash, but we're not so sure we get to play blue as like a core color to this deck. It may be green-red splash blue, but either way, Oculus is an incredibly powerful card, so it is a perfectly fine card to splash in. Very good synergy in Manifest Dread strategies, because if you manage to manifest this onto the board face down, you can flip it up without having to exile a bunch of cards from your grave. Also great synergy for Delirium strategies, because you're doing a lot of self-mill, and your grave will naturally end up being full enough to cast this later in the game, which is nice. So Oculus looks really good for this deck. We're already just naturally working towards various synergies that would make it a bit more playable. Pack 2, pick 2, another Manifest Dread now looks really good, because we could manifest that Oculus, and if we don't, this is a way to put 2 cards in our grave immediately, and then a third once the manifested creature dies, because we're putting a sorcery in grave, we're milling 1, and then when the 2/2 dies, it's a third card in grave. So that gets us halfway towards the 6 in grave for Oculus. I think this is a really good Manifest Dread deck. Termorphic Expanse, another great card for this strategy. Gets a land in our grave for Delirium, gets us the fixing for being a 3-color strategy, and gets just a card in grave in general for the Oculus as well. So some really good synergy pieces here, but nothing like great in terms of just raw power. I'll go for the Manifest Dread on this one. Pick number 3 now. Happy to take a Glassworks. I don't think it would be absurd to take a Brood Spinner either. Didn't end up taking any black spells in the first pack, but I remember seeing a copy of like Murderer 2, so it's not like the most cut color in the universe. And Brood Spinner is the strongest card in this pack. That card is very, very, very good, as you will have seen if you checked out our only 7-win run of the flashback journey this time around. But I think double beat down here, we probably push into red as our secondary color and blue as our splash, and take the Glassworks over the Brood Spinner here. Another copy of Manifest Dread. As we've said many times, tons of great synergies for that card. Bleeding Woods is fine here as well, but I don't think I want to take Impossible Inferno now that I'm on triple removal here. Pick 5, Patchwork Beasties, great for the green-red Delirium deck. So the green-blue deck is all about manifesting Dread. The green-black deck is a grindy late-game focused Delirium strategy The green-red deck is a more aggressive Delirium strategy where you are trying to, no pun intended, beat down early in the game, get your Delirium nice and quick so that the Beastie gets to attack nice and early, and some of the other cards like the 2-mana 2/2 now is now a 4/2 menace and stuff like that. So Beastie's perfect for the green-red version of Delirium, which is the direction we're headed in. Another Terramorphic Expanse looks good here. Zealot wouldn't be bad either. I mean, it is fixing, but this deck doesn't look like it really cares about the ramp, right? Like, we're super low curve. We're just splashing into some other bombs as our late game plays. I mean, Bookworm, not really a bomb, but a great card advantage engine. So our curve is going to be like our green-red beatdown creatures, and then our top end is, now that we've hit the blue mana, we play a great card like an Oculus or a Bookworm. So let's grab another Expanse here. Glimmerlight's fine in more aggressive strategies, certainly much better in the decks that actually have eerie triggers that happen whenever you play an enchantment. So blue-white, the best strategy for it. Red-white, it's solid in. Is it better to just splash in and Unable to Scream here than take a Glimmerlight? I don't think it'd be awful in this deck. It's certainly not playing to its fullest potential. I think I'll go Unable to Scream here. Get a green-red duel now. Or Bashful Beastie. That's solid top end. 5 mana 5/4 when it dies, Manifest Dread again. Pretty great. But I think here pick 8. Like to start working on getting this mana base really consistent if I can. Make it easier to splash in a bunch of blue. And maybe even just go full on 3-color. Not even like a splash. Yeah, and then we get a Terramorphic here. Beautiful. Put the Diversion Specialist back in for now until we find 23 non-land cards, and we'll cut from there. We are not main decking Vengeful Possession in this deck, though. Trial of Agony and Grab the Prize are both pretty bad filler. You kill their second best creature, but you shut off 2 blockers for a turn if you're aggressive. Grab the Prize just, Tormenting Voice. 2 mana, discard 1, draw 2. These are always just not that good. But I think this looks better for this deck if we had to run it as a 23rd playable than the really bad removal spell would have been there. Because this at least is like another card that's 2 cards engraved for the Oculus, and also fuels Delirium. You got a sorcery in a grave, and then whatever you discard to it. Okay, well, I'm glad I took some extra fixing there really heavily, because now I don't think there's any argument not to take the double blue mythic. So that's a hard sell, double blue, but we actually only have 1 red creature. So off of opening up a double blue mythic, we get to now go green blue at the core and splash the red for the removal instead. And have the creatures be in blue and just the random extra removal spells in red splash the other direction here because of the just extreme power of the mythic that we've opened. So that really high mana fixing helped us out a lot. And this is looking like a really, really nice spot to be now. Ho ho ho, double mythic. That is so splashable as well. This is one of the most splashable bombs in the entire format. It costs a single red mana, and it's the kind of card you don't really want to cast until you have like 6 or 7 mana anyway, because it's an X mana spell. The more mana you have when you play it, the better. So you have plenty of time to wait to hit that red source off the splash. This is wild. Overlord of the Flood Pits, Abhorrent Oculus, and the Roller Crusher Ride all hanging out in one deck here today. Pack 3, pick 3. Our first really big miss of pack 3, because we can't afford to play a 1 mana red creature anymore. Red is the later game splash color. So we have to take a 2 mana 2/1 flyer or a 4 mana 2/5 with no synergy. We could take the double red Fear of Burning Alive. Double red's a little difficult, but this is way better than the other options. Even with the difficult mana cost, I feel. So sure. Fear of Burning Alive. Unnerving Grasp is a beautiful pickup. Card plays incredibly well with all of our Manifest Dread cards, like the Bookworm and the Oculus. It's also great with all of our Delirium cards. Excellent tempo. Cannot say enough about this card. It does have random like bonus synergies. Like the fact that I can pick up Glassworks to recast it and blow up another creature. So that's pretty fun. This is a close pick here, pick 5. We could play a 4th Terramorphic Expanse, which honestly, having double blue and double red cards in the same deck, I wouldn't mind. But Cryptid Inspector has perfectly fine synergy. 1, 2, 3, 4, like 5 different Manifest red cards. It might still be a little low. The Terramorphic is real value. We are going to be running a million tap lands in this deck, but you got to do what you got to do when we're going this hard on multicolored spells, double blues and double reds. Grab a Glassworks here. Scorching Dragonfire or Peculiar Lighthouse here. So I've got 5 non-basic lands right now, so we have 23 non-land spells. And 5 lands currently. I do want to grab the prize. Some found footages and Inferno. There's a lot of non-creature spells I want to cut here, so let's find some more non-creature spells to improve them. So like play a Scorching Dragonfire over, grab the prize, and now a Vanish from Sight for being easily castable on color over Impossible Inferno for being off the splash probably. Waltz of Rage can be pretty powerful in the right scenario, but we need double red and we need a particularly beefy creature on board. So it seems a little extra finicky for this deck in particular. Another Conductive Machete, which we can now play over. Maybe one of the found footages. Although our deck is so bomby that just having the random Surveil 2 draw a card, the ways to dig 3 cards deep in our deck towards one of our mythics, could be actually pretty sweet. I guess we'd cut like Cautious Survivor. We'll have to do a lot of checks during the deck building, see what our creature count is, see what our enchantment count, our artifact count, how well our Delirium's doing in general. So we'll see. I'll definitely be playing the Moldering Gym Weight Room though. Just another piece of fixing that gives us one more random top-end creature as well. Alright, let's build this bad boy, shall we? So we have 42 cards right now. We can cut 2 more. We have what looks like a beautiful deck, honestly. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 creatures. Pretty perfect there. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 non-creatures. So probably just cutting a couple non-creatures here. Maybe the beatdowns off the splash is reasonable. So we're still without the beatdowns on Unable to Scream, Double Glassworks, Vanish, Dragonfire, Roller Crusher Ride. I guess one of the biggest arguments in beatdown's favor is that it's another sorcery. Oh no, we've got a bunch of Manifest Dreads. Okay. I was going to say this might be our only sorcery outside of Unnerving Grasp, but I missed Manifest Dread as well. Yeah, so there's that. I mean, I guess with kind of all of our bases covered here, having plenty of removal, having a bit of card draw, having a good creature count, and fixing count, our last 2 cuts, we could just cut like whatever card type is not super prevalent for Delirium, but the only card that we have that cares about Delirium if I cut the beatdowns is the Roller Crusher Ride, I believe. I guess Roller Crusher Ride and Fear of Burning Alive. And these cards are both much stronger if you have Delirium. Like, Roller Crusher Ride is literally twice as strong when you have Delirium. Yeah, we do still want to work pretty hard to kind of guarantee Delirium anytime that we draw that Roller Crusher Ride. So let's see. Enchantment creature, enchantment. I mean, I guess we can just look at these. This is probably easier. There's only 2 instants in the deck, so I don't think we want to cut an instant. There's plenty of creatures. So 17 lands, 8 creatures, 7 enchantments, 6 artifacts, 6 sorceries, and 2 instants. Cut one of the enchantments, still be 6/6/6/2. And then I could cut like a flesh creature, a creature that isn't an artifact, like Cautious Survivor, the most filler creature here. So we could cut that and then cut one of like the enchantment-based removal spells actually. Like one Glassworks maybe. And keep the beatdowns. Keep the card types well represented. I think that's probably fine. And then let's look again at the mana curve here and see how that looks after those cuts. And I could take another peek at the sideboard here, and we can run like an Impossible Inferno over something else to have 3 instants. These are the kind of things you do need to consider pretty heavily when you are a very focused Delirium strategy where you have a ton of cards that care about it. But again, we have like 3. Yeah, I forgot about Patchwork Beastie. But we have Patchwork Beastie, Roller Crusher Ride, and Fear Burning Alive. So again, it's not like a massive focus. I guess I've kept the beatdowns in now though, so it actually is a pretty big deal. Yeah, we'll play an Impossible Inferno, have 3 instants in here. Spread out these card types as much as possible. So this would be cut one of anything at this point. Cut anything other than an instant, and that would make a higher variety of card types. I don't mind dropping a found footage. Still have drawn discard off Bookworm, huge draw off Overlord. Just a little bit of value plays there. And found footage isn't even the biggest like card draw spell ever. It's a draw 1. You just get to surveil a bit first. We have a billion ways to manifest Dread, so I don't think that found footage is super necessary to hit Delirium as long as we have that high variety of card types like we just worked on. We can get there pretty naturally off just a few manifests. And obviously cracking Terramorphics makes it real easy to get lands in grave. Yeah, I think this deck can cut a found footage. All right, Teamer Delirium here, and it's kind of the full Teamer. The biggest issue I think we're going to have is going to be mana base wise, because we're very close on all 3 of our colors. So we're not really splashing anything. We're like deep into all of these colors. So we could definitely hit the wrong colors at the wrong time, and that would make it a lot worse. But quadruple Terramorphic Expanse should help us with that quite a bit, as well as the Mana Dork, Twitching Doll, and Moldering Gem. So we'll have to see how it plays out for us. Let's fix up the mana base here real quick. Just double check. Probably do want more green than this, because all of our early plays are green, as well as both of our pieces of fixing if we draw either of those. So I'll make sure we've got at least 9 green sources. I guess this is 10 now, right? 6 plus 4 from Expanse. What color is Verge? Ooh, if we don't have a mountain or forest on board, then Verge starts as just red. So yeah, we'll make it the 10, basically 9.5 green sources here, and then cut down on probably a red, because the vast majority of our red spells are non-creatures, whereas blue, I could need a blue 2-drop super early, blue 3-drop with Unnerving Grasp. Oculus is a later play, more often than not, but oops. But we have other early blue creatures and no early red ones. Okay, swap out that mana base a tiny bit, call it a deck there, hop into the gameplay, and see how far this one can take us. Alright, here we are, chilling on the draw for game number 1. Just kind of hang out till we play an Overlord of the Flood Pits and start going crazy there. The Creepy Peepee. Ooh, good draw. We get a 2-drop on curve that we did not have until that draw step. This card is probably never getting flipped up, but just in case, we will manifest the creature. Okay. Do we want to Glassworks Creeper? I still got a Vanish left over, so I don't mind that, as the only play we can make this turn. Because I had to Terramorphic into the red turn 1. So I had to get the tap land out of the way there, and then because I had to play green turn 2 to play Manifest Dread, we couldn't have played 2 islands by turn 3. Unless I skipped Terramorphic and used it on like turn 4 or something, but that'd be potentially sketchy. I think this is going to be slow enough. I might want to just take the trade here. Machete or Dragonfire the Razorkin. Let's go Machete here. Got a possibility of impending the Overlord and casting the Dragonfire in the same turn later. Okay, they got their own Dragonfire, fair enough. Piranha flies the play. So they got 3 damage on board here. 1 power and 2 power creature. If I go Dragonfire and Overlord, I feel, because it's impending of 4 turns total, it's likely better to just play the Fungus here alongside the Dragonfire so that we can hardcast this Overlord in the near future. Meatlocker the Fungus. Sure, I'll blow up their draw 3 discard 1. Possible Inferno is not bad. Little Overlord there. Smoky Lounge gives them mana for rooms. And the Unable to Scream for the Overlord. That is awkward. Vanish from Sight can kind of get them, though. Potentially. So let's go for that. Vanish from Sight, eat the Piranha. I think I like Inferno better than Beatdown still. Ooh, double Smoky Lounge. For the double Misty Salon for double tokens. It's going to be very good. 2, that's a 3/3 and a 4/4 at worst. Let's get another draw trigger off this Overlord before they're unable to scream it. I should keep this land in my hand. What am I doing? Draw 2 and then have that land to discard. Oh my god, and draw an Abhorrent Oculus. I feel like we just play that and then it doesn't matter what they unable to scream, they die to the other card. I mean, we absolutely just play that. 2, 3, 4, 5. I do have 3 sorceries, so I can do 6. There we go. Still have all 5 card types. We have all 3 of our mythic rares on the board. One of them's face down, but still. We have them. Overlord is not a May ability. I guess I could, I could mill myself. Thank God, at least Patchwork Beastie is a May ability. It's going to be close, but I'm getting a lot of damage real quick here. They're down to 8. Oof, do I even cast just a 2/2 here? Casting this 2/2 puts me down to 6 cards left. I can still do it. Decline. I do not want to mill anymore. I don't want to mill anymore though, Machete. I don't want to do it. Spread out our threats. Well, I could have put this on the O2, that would be fine too. Alright, they killed the Overlord, so I have 3 turns to kill them. We should be absolutely fine, because we get to unlock the Shattered Yard as well. If we hit them with like 1 creature 1 time, they're dead. And there's the concession from our opponents. Yeah, really, really powerful stuff from the deck there. Not much to say about it. The biggest thing was we were like so good at manifesting and got so many Overlord triggers that there's a risk of mill in this strategy. The amount of self-mill that happens, so a little scary, but still 1-0 heading into game 2. Okay, this hand is a lot riskier than it looks, because this is not a green source. If I don't draw a mountain or forest, but if I draw either a mountain, forest, or terramorphic expanse, then I have all colors, and I have 5 mountains, 3 forests, 4 terramorphics, which is 12 total hits. Total hits in the hand's very strong if it gets there. First draw is a 6-drop, so that does not help. Just looking for mana right now. Paranormal Analyst is the first play from our opponent. Second draw is unable to scream. Not the worst draw in the universe because we can shut off the Analyst, but we are still just desperate to hit one of our 12 mountains, forests, or terramorphics. Fear of Isolation is insane for our opponent there. Just ridiculously good value. Just completely counter our removal spell. And just get a 2-mana 2/3 flyer with pure upside. Alright, we hit the Terramorphic, but we missed a land, so we didn't hit it till turn 4. And now we're facing Fear of Isolation double Paranormal Analyst, which is probably... I mean, not even probably, it just is very bad. Got enough green spells in this hand. I think I get the forest here to have double green up ASAP. We pray they can't kill this doll. Right, our immediately impactful spells are the green ones, so being able to play like Fungus and Dread in the same turn, pretty important here. Oh, non-land, Moldering Gem here. 4 damage if I skip this turn. I play Dread and Fungus, I still take 2, but that's it. I need to get some swingy turns. I need to be able to, like, get to a Roller Crusher in the end game, or get to, like, Dread and Beatdown in the same turn. I really need mana. So I'm going for the gem. I guess the second analyst doesn't really do anything. They can't pick up 2 cards. So at least there is that. We've missed so many land draws this game. We've drawn 1 naturally. Enchantment land. If I get an artifact creature... I don't think I have an artifact creature in this deck, sadly. I've got a lot of artifacts, but no artifact creatures, just enchantment creatures. So, enchantment land, sorcery, engrave. Okay, if I get an artifact period, then I can actually delirium, beat down, kill, fear of isolation if they don't have interaction for 3 or less. Nice, so there's the artifact engrave, so we have delirium. And then we kill the flyer and have a big enough blocker for all the ground troops. And that would not have been possible if we hadn't Moldering Gemmed earlier, which is what I was talking about, of needing the mana to at least be able to do some kind of 2-for-1 turn of like Dread plus beat down, like we did there. Okay. We're working on it here. You've got full delirium now. If we can make it to high X mana for Roller Crusher, that can be our final piece to stabilize this game. And this turn, since I have double green and the additional red, I can now go double creature and hold up Dragonfire. Okay. I don't think it's completely crazy to send this 4/4 in. Oh, that kind of sucks. I don't get to respond until they get to play their instant. Play their own Dragonfire, sure. Do that while they only have 1 mana up. Rather than when they untap and have a bajillion. Haunted Screen. Turns into a 7/7, so that's pretty scary. Betrayer's Bargain on the 4/4. They can start poking us for 1 damage a turn. Oh, the fungus can kill the 7/7, so we're fine on that front. We can prolong this game long enough to hit lands. We win, so we just chill still. I think I vanished from sight the Haunted Screen to get the Surveil towards mana here, rather than blow up the fungus. Because this also will kill the rabbit token still. And if they put it on top, it slows them down a lot, because they can't replay it and activate it in the same turn. We'll mill that non-land off the Surveil. Thought I milled that. We had both copies right on top? Oh my god. This is double damage. I can do 1 damage to 1 target, so 2 damage. I need 5th land, and then I could kill both analysts with this 1 spell. I'm just a 1 mana away. Alright, well, Machete stops the analyst attacks. There's a land to mill. So there's Haunted Screen. And Nico? Land, please. Thank you. Good lord. I'm gonna have to chump Haunted Screen, since I can't do that and have Fungus mana up. So I have to chump with the 4/3. Oh god, they scryed to the top. Yep. The removal for the fungus to stop us from killing screen, but we hit the mana for Fear Burning Alive to deal 8 to the screen because of Roller Crusher Ride. I guess technically 16 to the screen because it doubles twice. Yeah, 16 damage to that screen. Please and thank you. Top deck Megalodon. And they have one more card draw off of the Nico cards. Oh, but there's an Overlord. Still need a blue for that. Impossible Inferno can kill the Megalodon and draw us one for next turn. Probably better than just manifesting a 5/5 here. 12 damage to Megalodon. Draw one. Hope it's an island, and if it's not, still drew us one card closer. Alright, well. Awkward. Beastie Beatdown. I feel like I beat down with the fungus. Force them to use removal on the fungus instead of removal on Fear Burning Alive, if they want to stop it from working here. Unless they have like the buff the analyst kind of trick. Vanish from sight the fungus, yeah. Have them spend a whole removal spell on this fungus is fine. Ditch it. No, my island. You hate to see it. 7/7. Say its name, pick up any creature from the grave. There's an Altenac, so probably that. Probably the 9/9 trample when I'm at 7. Could be Nico, but it is going to be Altenac. Welcome. We have hit double blue. So if we survive this Altenac swing, we kill them next turn off of the Overlord with a machete on it. Oh, 1 mana. That glass works. Pass. Man. Ah. Gonna double block at least. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3, 4. If I top deck a land, Glassworks plus Unlock Shattered Yard can kill Altenac. But they draw 2 off of that. Jesus. There's no way to kill them on the crackback, is there? Let's see, Glassworks plus equip. No, Glassworks plus equip if their last card doesn't work. That's still 1 damage off. Because I can't block with just 1. If I block with just 1, I go to 5 here. So I have no way to kill on the crackback. Man. And put them to 1 life and then die, or I let them draw. Let them draw 2 here. Oh, I should have attacked, since Altanac's gonna die here. I should have attacked. That was loose. Oh, that might cost me the game, because that would kill Analyst. Yeah, that would have been the outcome. We would have killed Analyst there, so they can't, like, Meat Locker and hit us here. I guess, technically, they maybe would have not blocked. But I highly doubt... We'd have a Shattered Yard. I guess I could have done it main phase 2. They would not know about the Shattered Yard, so maybe they would not block, and then get the 2-turn kill off of the unlocked Shattered Yard. Ah, I probably threw that. Because there's a chance they would not block with the Analyst there. And then them hitting this Meat Locker means we definitely don't have the kill now. Because they just stun the Fear Burning Alive. I don't have any hasters in here. Yeah, that was our one shot there. Needed to attack with that Fear Burning Alive and hope they did not block. Let's do full-on removal anyway. Okay, then we couldn't win either way then. Unless I got damage earlier this game, because then they could just exile the Shattered Yard after all that. Right, we do all that to put them to 1, and then they just exile Shattered Yard and we lose. Yeah, we're dead to Meat Locker. There's nothing here. Draw a card. Ah, the 3rd mythic. Alright. Yeah, I didn't play that out perfectly. If I did take the risk earlier of getting that 4 damage, and there was one turn earlier that I said maybe we could attack with the 4/4. If we did that attack earlier and then also that endgame attack against the Analyst, and they didn't block, then we could have won there. But there's no guarantee. In both of those positions, they did have blockers, so they could have done. They could have done some kind of weird block. But it would have given us a much better chance, so. Man, that's so rough. Because I feel like the first 2/3 of that game, I think we probably played as well as we possibly could to give us every chance. Because if we played even just like slightly looser, we just drew so poorly, we would have been absolutely demolished. So finding the lines of like, I have to just take extra damage and grab the land here. Now, if I hit the right card, I can go Manifest Beatdown and turn things around here and stop taking damage for a second. Like, there were a lot of turns we were really tight on mana and had to really find the right line. I think we did that really well for like the first 2/3 of the game. But in that late game, I did not play aggressively enough. I was still under that early game mindset of playing too defensively. Played too scared, and it just gave them gave them the opportunities to stabilize there instead of just taking the extra 2 to die, so yeah. Rough. Alright. That will be 1-1 heading to game 3. Here we are on the draw for game number 3. Got the wrong colors again, but with the found footage and the Overlord in the hand, I am not going to mulligan it. Wow, that's depressing. I have to mill Unnerving Grasp Roller Crusher Ride, because I cannot afford not to be milling towards the green source. Mirror match here, they're also on blue, green, and red. There's the Spine Seeker Centipede on 3 to fix their mana. Terramorphic for us. Moldering Gem here. Second blue for Overlord. I can take second blue and cast Overlord next turn, or I can take a second green to play Bookworm plus Manifest Dread and draw a card. I think I'm going to take second green here and do Bookworm, Manifest Dread, and Terramorphic together. Give them the opportunity to expend their removal on Oblivious Bookworm instead of Overlord of the Flood Pits. As fantastic as Oblivious Bookworm is, it's a little bit weaker than the Overlord. Ghostly Keybearer is very threatening. Right, because they can play basically any room next turn and immediately unlock the whole thing. So that's pretty sketchy. I don't have a good way to kill that here. I could just vanish it. I mean, Terramorphic Vanish is not the craziest play here. I feel like they wouldn't be super excited to just jam down Keybearer without like another room here. Right, they had like 5 other options of what to play that turn. Well, I guess no room. Well, I guess I should have just done Bookworm Dread. But I think the risk is really high when you see Keybearer. Like if they just go Moldering Gem there, Moldering Gem, attack, unlock, get the 5/5 for free. Be an insane turn. I should have cracked Terramorphic first. That was dumb. I guess I could just put an extra land in my grave. Yeah, if I Surveil to the grave, I guess it ends up being kind of the same either way. Okay. So, now they have 1,000,000 mana up. I hate that. Definitely can't play Beatdown then. Best play against 1,000,000 mana up is just don't cast a spell when they've got double blue. Plays around counter spells. Unnerving Grasp, thank you. That is why I picked the non-land. I think Unable to Scream is probably better than a 2/2 in this kind of matchup, because they're quite likely to have their own random Overlord or something later. Cool, we're vibing. We're vibing. Now they have no mana up, so we can go Bookworm, Manifest, draw the cards. Should I just be running like a 45 card deck or something? Because I'm already kind of scared of milling again, which is kind of crazy. Is there any way to play Beatdown this turn? Not while getting a Bookworm draw. Because I gotta do double green spell. I don't mind another blue, so I can play Overlord and Unable to Scream, but if I get another green... I guess I only have 2 green spells now, so I can do Doll plus Beatdown. Yeah, we'll get the mana for Overlord plus Unable to Scream. Another Spine Seeker Centipede. all the unnerving grasps. I draw 2 every turn if I play this Overlord. Don't want to mill that fast. I'm at 7 life, but I'm still more scared about milling myself. Seven mana. Overlord and a beatdown. Or Twitching Doll, Bookworm. I was not expecting to need triple green here because I was not expecting them to bounce Bookworm for another green spell to want to play. Because there's like no way to double beat down. I can play one spell and a beat down and I'm unable to scream. Which somehow all of their creatures are still just 2/2s. Which is awkward for unable to scream. Oh, Jesus, how am I doing this? Machete. Beat down, unable to scream. Yeah, I'm low enough, I need to triple spell here. So it's Machete, beat down, scream. Awkward mills. It's very close to a 3/3 vigilance, so I think we just shoot that. And shoot one of the face downs. Ooh, we got a 7/6, let's go. They have double beat down here. Be really good draws. Yeah, that's still pretty gross. Exile the equipment. This has to be Overlord beatdown. Two cards left over there. We're dead to removal. Ooh, a double pickup. Get another land from Centipede, get another flyer out of the Smoky Lounge. To go wide enough around the Overlord to try to find lethal. Oh, they did play it prematurely, get a 1/1 instead of a 2/2. Oh no, Ghost Vacuum? I'm just gonna get deleted by Ghost Vacuum. I was like, okay, I can still beat that. That was a great turn for them, but I think I can still potentially get there. And then just Ghost Vacuum, like, yeah, we can't beat Ghost Vacuum. Well, get got, nerd. Ghost Vacuum demolishes us. They just play our own Fear of Burning Alive against us immediately. And if not that, eventually they just get 4 or 5 1/1 flyers. Just absolutely crushed by that. I have no outs. Yeah, I mean, I can theoretically top deck Insidious Fungus, but if I do, that's in the second main phase, and I'll have no flying blockers because I'll have to have attacked with the Overlord. and then I die to the flyers because I attacked with the Overlord. Or I try to draw it off a Bookworm, and if I draw it off Bookworm, it's after my main phases and I can't play the Sorcery Speed card there. Alright. Get Ghost vacuumed. I mean, I guess I get to draw double spell here. Potentially. But let's, I mean, we can see what's in there. Yeah, no double spell gets us there. Out of these. The only one that would be if I had 6 mana up, 3 mana Glassworks plus 3 mana Fungus. Right, because then if I could go blow up the Spirit and blow up the Ghost Vacuum. But I don't have 6 mana up. Even if I played an untapped land this turn, I only have 5. I guess if I did that pre-playing these, that was a chance. An insanely low chance. I have to draw those exact 2 cards in a row. And I did not draw those exact 2 cards. So we are dead. I guess, what, Oculus plus Fungus could have done it too? I mean, none of these hypotheticals mattered because we did not draw any of those, but technically, I should have attacked with Overlord without playing anything, so that if I did manage to get really lucky and draw one of the outs, we could get there. But with the way that we drew, there was no out to winning this game. We didn't hit the right stuff, and that's all it takes. Get Ghost vacuumed. Nerd. That is 1 and 2 heading to game 4. Swear to God, this deck is better than these draws. Give me 1 land, thank you. I will be very depressed if we won 3 with this deck. We might. Blue, white, with turn 2 Gremlin Tamer. In my opinion, the strongest archetype in the set. The blue-white enchantment aggro deck. Well, they're splashing around though, blue-white black. Oh my god, dude. Really? Mythic uncommon into bomb rare. Do not have the removal. Deal with that here. Until I get my off color. They only have a single blue. Yeah, I shouldn't be able to counter this with a single blue here. Turn Glimmer Burst into a draw 3 off of Entity Tracker. This is really rough because it's the worst matchup for Unable to Scream. If they have a Fear of Isolation, this game's all but over. Haunted Scream. There's their own Unable to Scream. Gotta keep hitting lands here. I think I need to found footage over Machete. Oh, I should have reordered those. For some reason, I was like thinking of it as a draw two. I think because I've done so much overlording. I got used to my draw twos. Yeah, now I have to play a tap land turn 6. Yeah, that was a very bad order. But I genuinely just thought I was drawing 2 cards for some reason. I don't hate unlocking Shattered Yard with a Fear Burning Alive in hand. But Machete's probably better at this rate. As soon as one creature's dead, we have full delirium. Five, 4 flyer. Oh, they're gonna ditch a card here? That was a really confusing play. Because Beastie already couldn't block, so I couldn't like double block Megalodon there. Phoba, Fear of Burning Alive. Unblockable Shark. Well, we take 5. Wow. Got the Mind Rot with our Overlord in hand. Depression on the stack. Do my baby manifest. And clear out the token. I wonder if I'll ever manifest the Oculus. I keep manifesting like my Roller Crusher ride. The Fear of Burning Alive, I think I've manifested 2 or 3 times. I've never flipped it up after that, though. Death Toucher. Let's see, I think the Oculus is still in there. Odds are getting decent on manifesting it at this point. Come on, eyeball. That's not an eyeball. I maybe shouldn't have attacked here because they get to unlock the screen too. Not unlock the screen, but you know, activate the screen of the 7/7. Ooh. Beat down. unless they top decked removal here. Should be good. Perfect. Chumpity chump chump. I just realized I'm dumb. I think this triggers off itself. You turned a permanent face up. Yeah, it works even if you turn itself face up, which was wild. I could move the conduit over, but I have like a 4-mana instant. I don't know if I have the mana for 4-mana instant. Yeah, I wouldn't have the mana if I draw the 4-mana bounce spell thing to do all those things. I only make it 9 power, I can't make it 10 power. So I can't break through both of these with just Bookworm. 9 cards left. I mean, I gotta find the eyeball. It's not the eyeball! It's the instant! Get the 7/7 off the board and I can send everybody else in. Okay, they just chomp. Gonna end with a mill out here. What are my remaining cards? I can draw Oculus, Unnerving Grasp, Machete, Impossible Inferno, and Fungus. Yeah, we draw. No! There were only like 2 lands left at that point. Yeah, there's 1 land left in the whole deck now. Okay. I played that game out worse than every other game combined. But luckily we still barely get there in the end. 2-2. Heading into game number 5. Alright. It's time for the redemption run. 1-2 into 7-2. Let's go. This deck is more than capable. If I can play things out perfectly here, and we draw solidly. So let's see. Good draw. Good manifest. 2 card types for Delirium right now. Sticky Twisty. I like Manifest Dread and hold a green up, and they might not expect us to be able to flip up a 3/3 here to blow up Stick Twister. Feels good. Resume turn. Let's full control just in case. Nom 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 nom. Okay. Phoba. Fear of Burning here. We have just sorceries and lands still. That was partially self-imposed. I chose an enchantment there. Woo! Blue source, where are you? You'd like to live the dream? And 3 out of 4 still is kind of crazy. Oh no! The better Overlord. I think the white Overlord is the best one. The red one is second best, the blue is third best in terms of draft power level. If I have an untapped land in my top 3, I can Found Footage plus Moldering Gem, and if that untapped land is an island, then I have a much better play of flipping up Oculus. We go for it. Beautiful. I do need 6 mana. I don't mind Verge. We go Island Oculus, next turn we go Verge Fear Burning Alive. I guess Oculus is just going to put the Verge into play anyway, so we just keep it there to not mill out super fast. Let's go, Mythic Mythic. Oh, they blew it up immediately. Commune with Evil. Non-land draw. I really hate that. I guess I either Moldering Gem or just hold up an Inferno. Both pretty bad. Get that second red for Fear Burning Alive. It's really hoping for land weight room there. That would have been beautiful. Infernal Phantom. So I can pop that, and then it kills my 2/2. That's not the worst deal in the universe. See if they randomly have the hexproof trick out of white, but I pray not. Maybe I should go Unable to Scream, and then I can have Impossible Inferno in response to the hexproof trick if they have it. That is the safest way to make sure the Overlord is dead. If they have no response, obviously Inferno's better, because we get to draw a card, but if Overlord gets protected in any way here, we have just a massive problem. So I want to hold the Inferno up. There. 4 damage to any target. So it can't kill a 5/5. So yeah, now if they like blow up Unable to Scream with enchantment removal, they still can't attack through a 5/5 anyway. Okay. Fair enough. Ooh. Have to draw 2 every turn. 3 swings? Oh, beatdown's a good draw, because that makes it much quicker than 3 swings. I don't think I can afford to Unnerving Grasp, because I can't afford to mill myself too. Beatdown makes it a 2-shot kill, and if I beat down right now, then Overlord's out of reach of both Scorching Dragonfire and the 3-mana deal 4 room. Obviously, killing the Cultist doesn't matter too much because it comes right back, but getting the extra toughness on the Overlord against a red deck can be really important. And I have to cast Beatdown before I attack either way, so that the extra power means it's a 2-turn kill with the attacks. So I think I might as well do it right there so they can't just top deck Scorching Dragonfire or that room that deals for the Ironworks or whatever, Glassworks. Ninjutsu card coming in? Nope. Man, I suck at gameplay. These games have all felt so close. But again, like, our deck itself, I think, is just absolutely exceptional. Like, I drafted pretty well, and then we just managed to open every mythic in the book to put into this. But God, these games all had stress to them. We are 3-2 heading into game 6. All right, game 6. Slow down the early game with Unable to Scream, Vanish from Sight, and wrap things up with the Roller Crusher Ride for a hopefully one-sided board wipe to get us way ahead. Naturally draw the green source. I like that. That means this Terramorphic can get our second blue for Overlord. Creepy peepee. Drawn to Manifest Dread. I don't hate the idea of always bolt the bird, you know, slowing down the mana dork. I don't think it's crazy against blue to just get the oh, I forgot Manifest Dread's going to grave. Oh, I'm so bad. This set's so complex. Hold up Vanish from Sight, or be able to hardcast Overlord next turn. Being able to hardcast Overlord next turn is likely better. Fear of Imposters. A 3/2 for 3. Card doesn't play super well in this set, just because of all the manifesting going on. 3/2s for 3 can be rough. They have the Ninjutsu Kaito to play around our Unable to Scream. Unable to Scream has been awful in this deck. I'm not really because it's in this deck, but because of the opponents we played against, where we've had one player Ninjutsu back their card and another one Fear of Isolation it back.
Sit down. Rethink your life.
So filthy. All right, Overlord's probably gonna die, but it is gonna fuel Roller Crusher Ride. Land Sorcery Enchantment. Drop an artifact into grave. I do want land 6. Yeah. Drop an artifact in grave. Buff their ninjas, surveil 2, draw a card each turn. Man, the 3 toughness is not great on our Overlord. Is our hand good enough to just trade this Overlord off and still expect to win? If I don't trade it off, I'm at 8. I'm at 8 and they surveil 2, draw a card. Alright, Mythic for Mythic. Fear of failed tests. 7 gosh darn toughness. Way too thick. I think if they had a way to blow up Overlord, they would have killed it and then attacked with Kaito. But I think I should be able to Fear Burning Alive, kill the imposters, and still have this up to block the Fear of failed tests. But if they do have the removal for this, that will be very good for them. Because then they get to draw the 2 off of their Fear. Nice. Now I can do 4 damage to each of these if they don't have a counterspell in hand. I can also play around the counterspell, because that's 4 mana up, 2 cards left still. And we have a perfectly reasonable Moldering Gym hold up Vanish from sight play. Yeah, that's more than reasonable here. I was holding when I cast that. So they do have an instant of some kind. Try for an end step Vanish from sight. Get them to tap out during their turn if they have a counter. You're falling. Okay, well now they just are tapped out. Yeah, okay. If they play the whole hand, then we know there's no counters, and we're fine. X, target creatures, red, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh my god. What? Deals X to each of up to X. One, two, three, four. That's so stupid. Oh my god. All aboard the roller crusher ride, I guess. That'll be 4 and 2 heading into game number 7. All right, we're on the play now for game 7. Get our red so that we have that dragon fire nice and early. But we're going to be curving out. Not exactly, but we're going to be playing our creatures out as aggressively as we can on 2 and 4. Skullcrab is insane against our deck. That is not staying on this board. We literally can't beat Skullcrab. We cannot beat a mill deck. I already almost milled myself multiple times. That is not gonna stick around, I can tell you that. They are blue deck. They could have the tempo bounce spell, the Unnerving Grasp, so them giving me this Unable to Scream could be good. Gremlin Tamer. Oh. Please slow down and please give me a good draw deck. Not a good draw deck. I'm gonna need something crazy because they're gonna have so many gremlins so soon. Patchwork Beastie. Machete to make sure that I have the card types for Beastie. I do not have the card types for Beastie. Just found all sorceries. No creatures in grave is kind of wild. Alright, Uber Glimmerburst, draw 2, get 2 1/1s. Oculus. It ain't Oculus. But it's some. I don't like all that mana up. Probably just removal when I flip up my Overlord. I think I still have to just do it. Because I'm not even drawing off a Bookworm this turn if I don't flip up a card and play it, and I don't have the mana to flip up a card and play it, so... Yeah, I gotta just do it. And I gotta do it pre-declaring attacks so that I get the draw if they don't have the removal. But this is very likely just blow it up. I'm just hoping it's like the destroy a tapped creature, so I can at least get the attack trigger here. But that seems to not be the case, potentially. Okay, I get the attack trigger at least. There's part of me that wants to be able to just play beat down here, but... Oh my god, it somehow stuck around. They can triple block the 4/3 though, that wouldn't be bad for them. No, take it all, go to 7. Split up, sure. Blow up the Overlord and the thingy. I get an Unable to Scream for the Gremlin Tamer. And I flood. Okay. A Bookworm. Boop a Gremlin Tamer. They get to unlock the locker room and start drawing a card every single turn now. I could go land, equip Machete, but I think it's better to draw discard and have the land to discard here. 3 toughness already stops the 1/1s, already forces removal. And blue and white, their removal is going to kill this even if it has a 4th toughness. It doesn't really matter. Find another land. Oh, sweet Jeebus. Double Gremlin Tamer and the Trapped in the Screen here. This is another format, much like when we were playing Final Fantasy, where like the card quality is just absolutely insane. Where I draft like the bombiest deck in the universe, and then it's still just like, well, great synergistic uncommons or whatever. Go ham. So they're also super powerful. I mean, they did have a one-sided board wipe too. But it just blew up 2 cards. Oh my god! Stop! I'm the one with the bombs. Why do you have bombs too? I am the one who bombs. We're just dead. Just straight dead here. Because they can just move dissection tools. Wow. The Oculus without the mana for it. I guess it's 1 damage off. Alright, well. If we played perfectly and our opponents misplayed in some of those earlier games, we had a chance to go farther. But this set just has wildly fierce competition. Like, you would look at this deck in most formats and be like, oh yeah, that's an auto 7 winner. But looks like we are going to be 4-3 today. That took a while because I had to try to get the delirium here. We're dead to any piece of interaction. But I don't have any other way I can play it. Yeah, I mean, they just have a billion pieces of action still. Alright. 4-3 it is. A very disappointing record for this deck. That's kind of how I have felt for the second half of our Duskmourn drafts. Our last couple decks, our room-based decks, were obviously like pretty bad decks because they were just doing the fun stuff, but I think they still had pretty disappointing records for how well they actually seem to synergize and play out within the gameplay. And I think that's the same for this one. That I think in terms of like how well it's capable of playing out, how consistent the deck is, with solid synergies, tons of stuff to work on that delirium, tons of that manifest stuff, multiple great bombs, infinite pieces of removal. This deck has like absolutely everything you need. I think this is a very good deck. So even if we got a perfectly solid run here at 4-3, that still I think is a pretty disappointing record for this deck, because I think this one is more than capable of a 7 winner, unlike our previous room decks. So those decks, I was just like disappointed to go like 1-3 and 2-3 because I would have liked to play with them more and get to like a 3-3 or 4-3. But I think this one genuinely more than capable of a 7 winner. Certainly better than our first 7-win deck, I would say. Our just green-black deck. Because this has basically the same amount of removal as that green-black deck, the same amount of good delirium manifest synergy stuff, and just way better finishers. Between Oculus Overlord, Roller Crusher Ride. But it is what it is. That is going to happen. Certainly partially self-imposed. We had 5 million decision points during gameplay, just every single turn. Like, what do we manifest and why? What do we try to fill the grave for with delirium? What lands do we pick up? And do we attack or do we not? Are we on the offensive or the defensive? And I think that's what could have cost us one of those earlier games. We were just stuck on the defensive so long because we'd only drawn like one land the first 7 or 8 turns of that game or something. We were just so far on the defensive early that I think I stayed in that defensive mindset too long, not getting the extra Fear Burning Alive attacks to maybe finish them off with that Shattered Yard that one game. So that one, I think, in my memory, was the most likely for us to have been able to turn into a win. But I'm sure there's probably another one in there that I'm just forgetting that could have had this deck at like 5-2 right now, and then who knows who we play around the next 2 rounds for the potential win there. But yeah, some incredible decks all around throughout this draft. That was some really fierce competition. I think that's another thing that maybe our other deck had going for it that this one didn't. Like, the matchmaking was so much better for that green-black deck. It feels like we hit tremendously fierce competition today. Playing against overlords and split ups and dissection tools and just really synergistic decks as well. So 4-3, very average record. Would have thought this deck could do better, but not technically a bad run at all. So we will take it. 4-3 for this draft today. But that is going to end today's video. As always, I'd like to thank my patrons and YouTube members for their support, as well as you for watching the video. If you enjoyed it and you're interested in seeing some more, you can always like, comment, and subscribe to tell the YouTube audience to send you some more in the recommended feed. If you'd like to catch me live, check out the Twitch channel in the link in the description below. If you'd like to support the channel directly, you can check out the Patreon link in the description below. But other than that, as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon for some more Magic Arena.